So guys, I just picked up a new boat. We're gonna do a little introduction of the new rig real quick here, even though it's a windy day and it was kind of tough fishing. So this is new boat walkthrough. Not totally complete, but almost there. So first things first, most important part for me in getting a new boat was the motor. I have had great success and been really comfortable with the performance and how well my Merc has behaved on the water, in the grass, beating it up. And basically I wanted a Mercury on this boat. This has a 200 horsepower Optimax. It's an 03 and it's paired up with a Mercury 3-blade Fury prop. She'll do about 55 to 65, but it's nice though at like 4,200 RPMs. She'll do about 45, 50, so it's real comfortable cruising speed, not gonna burn too much gas, and she pops her up real quick. So as you guys know, I've been fishing offshore quite a bit, so one of the most important parts for me with this boat was getting the electronics in and getting them set up right. I'm still using my HDS 12, my Lowrance right here. And one of the things I had to do is, a friend of mine, a very generous individual, I don't know if he wants to be mentioned, so I'm not going to say his name, but he did give me a ram extension mount. You know, I had the short arm ram mount on the old tracker, and it wouldn't allow me to shift and move around the HDS 12, and it wouldn't accommodate it with the small mounting space that you find on the Tritons. So that was absolutely awesome and definitely allowed me to mount the electronics the way I want. They're very accessible from the captain's seat. I can click my brush piles, click my waypoints. It's very quick, very easy and streamlined. Another nice feature, and it has kind of to do with the motor, is this does have tilt and trim tabs. I'm sorry, not tabs. It has tilt and trim arms and adjustable button switches. So I can run my jack plate, pop it up if I'm in the grass. I can pop up the motor. It's real easy. It's just like driving a car. You flick here, flick there. You're ready to rock and roll. So once again, coming back to fishing offshore, I did mount my HDS 9 right over a recessed trolling motor pedal, which has been absolutely awesome for my knees and for my back, because it sucked always having to stand up and kind of lean back in order to run that trolling motor. And I also got, this is a deck-it mount. Basically, it allows me to kind of utilize space in a more efficient manner and mount that HDS. It faces right up towards me, it elevates it a bit, and it makes it really easy to see the unit. I also I like my DSI unit, so I did want to get a DSI unit for this boat that would go and have a transducer mounted on the trolling motor. So I did pick up the new Lowrance Hook 7. It's a pretty sweet unit. Unlike my old DSI, it actually shoots downscan as well as broadband with chirp. So it gives me a few more options to look at the fish in a wider look. I did mount that. I got another nicely donated ram extension mount. This is great because it pops it up like 8 or 9 inches, making it a lot easier to see. It's easier for me to look at those brush piles, get real close and kind of take a peek at the graph and identify what's going on under me. So this is how it's set up in front. Really digging it, been fishing quite a bit, had some awesome days already with the new boat, and a lot of it has to do with the way it's efficiently set up front. So not every used boat is perfect, and this one wasn't perfect when I got it. I got a pretty fair price on it, and that's what kind of made me jump on it. Plus I was looking for a Triton, and kind of in that 19 to 20 foot range. It was the right size for me, the right size for my truck, and the right price range. But you know, there's always trade-offs, and one of the trade-offs that I had is I got the boat from the Jacksonville area, from Palatka, and a lot of guys fish the St. John's up there, which is kind of saltwatery, and you know, it takes a toll on a trailer. So the trailer that came with the boat was corroded beyond belief, very beat up, and I didn't want to have it rebuilt and go through all that hassle. So I got to send a shout out to Roland Martin Marina. Mike Krause over there set me up with an awesome trailer. It's new, it's a 2011, but it's a new trailer. Perfectly fits on the boat and gives me a lot of peace of mind that I can go and drive 4.5, 5 hours to go fishing and not worry about issues with, you know, the bunks breaking through the hull and that kind of stuff, which you want to worry about fishing. You don't want to worry about the trailer under your boat. I'm not super fancy, and you know what, frankly, I'm not really into all the light stuff that's going on. But once again, an anonymous awesome donor hooked me up with some LED lights. and it kind of made me a believer. You can see them set up right here. I got one on each side. Here's some of the things that I'm kind of interested with them. You know, they're great for tournament fishing and that, but at the same time, I do shoot a lot of videos from the boat, and sometimes I'm not getting enough light or the lighting that I'm looking for. So one thing, and I haven't tried it yet, but I'm excited to try out these LED bands and shoot some video and use them as kind of a lighting enhancement, and they're probably gonna add some kind of cool features to the vids, or like a cool kind of backlight to the vids. The other thing is I mounted a few of these into my rod lockers right here, and you can see them right there. It makes it great for that hour or two in the morning, you know, when you can't see in there, you're preparing for a tournament, or if you're in your driveway, you don't have great driveway lights, you can get in the rod lockers, see what's in there, grab out what you need. Now another cool thing that I did, let's shift up front right over here. So I also went ahead and got some navigation LEDs and cut out the rub rail right here and mounted them inside. It's great because I don't got to worry about using the light post anymore. I can just click them on from the cockpit and I'm ready to roll. But I did kind of join the wires on the inside so that if I do have an LED failure, I can go ahead and use my light post tool. You know, it's one of those simple things, but it's a nice feature, makes things easier, don't got to deal with that light post. Last but not least on this joker is my Minn Kota Fortrex. You know, it's the 101 36 volt, and one thing that's kind of interesting is with the 101, unlike the new 112s, you still have that original smaller head, and Minn Kota hands down is the best grass trolling motor on the market. However, the new heads, from what I've heard from guys, have a little trouble on that 112 going through that heavy cover. So I'm kind of stoked to have the 101 in that on there. It's still the 36 volts, still a lot of thrust, but that smaller head's going to make it a lot easier to weave through cover. You also notice too, I got my transducer for my Hook 7 on there. What's really cool about these transducers is it gives broadband sonar as well as down scan. So I'm getting kind of that broader look at what's going on down below me, as well as that high definition straight down scan, so I can put a buoy next to a brush pile and get really specific with stuff. So that's the basic breakdown for the boat. You know, there's a lot of new fun little tweaks that I'm going to do to it, and I'll keep you updated as we move through. But I can't tell you how jacked up I am to have kind of the right boat for me. It's not too big, it's not too small. You know, it looks pretty cool. I dig the black, I gotta admit. And it's just nice to be in something that's a little more stable, a little more solid. And I'm jacked up to get out there and fish with it. So I'll keep you updated. Hope you enjoyed this. And tight lines, boys.